This episode of the Fatherhoods podcast is brought to you by Fly Dad, where fatherhood stays fly. What's the biggest shock? Or on the other side, not necessarily like in a bad way, because the shock could be a good thing, but like, what's the biggest shock that you've encountered in the last 4 months and understanding what it is to have a child?
Man, I honestly don't think we were ready at all.
Wow.
I honestly felt like people kept a whole bunch of shit to themselves so you would have a kid and have to deal with it yourself and get hit with the same
That's
shit.
real shit. Like
It's
what?
like
What's the big one?
the big one is probably at the beginning with the sleep. Like they got to eat every 2-3 hours, and if they don't get up, you got to wake them up. So you got to have like alarm set. And you got to be on it because if your kid starts to lose too much weight, they need to gain that birth weight back, and then they need to double it within like 3 months. So it's like a goal that you're shooting for, and all of a sudden it becomes like something very much more real than I expected. I thought like kid comes out, like as long as it's eating, it's doing fine, like feed them 3 times a day. Like no.
I never heard about having to wake them up. I'm just so used to my son and just hearing stories in general of the kids always waking up through the night because they're hungry. But that idea of having to actually wake them up to make sure they're eating, that's a new one.
Man, I mean, you know, I can guarantee that through, all different times in history and even just different times within the last couple of decades, everything just keeps changing. Because I know that my mom and dad were not on half of the stuff that they told us that we got to do. Like,
For
clearly,
sure.
they definitely were not.